The sky over New York changed without warning. One moment it was a clear blue morning. The next, a massive shadow rolled across the city. People on the streets froze, heads tilted upward. Phones came out, recording the impossible. Above the clouds, a shipno, a fortress hung in the air. It was the size of a mountain, black and silver, with lines of glowing blue running along its hull. The air felt heavier, as if the ship's very presence pressed on the earth. In the White House Situation Room, alarms blared. Military officers and intelligence chiefs rushed in. The president stood at the head of the table, staring at the live footage. "Is that one of ours?" she asked quietly. "No, ma'am," replied Admiral Pierce, his voice tight. "That's not human tech, and it's not from any nation we know." Before anyone could speak again, every screen in the room, every TV, phone, and billboard on Earth changed. A towering alien figure appeared. Its skin was metallic gold, its eyes like molten silver. The voice was deep, almost musical, but carried a weight of command. "People of Earth, we are the Galactic Council. We have watched your world. We have seen your rise. Today, we offer you our protection, eternal and unbreakable." The room went silent. It was an offer that sounded almost kind, but the tone wasn't quite right. Admiral Pierce frowned. Protection from what? The alien kept speaking, ignoring the question. "No harm will come to you. No enemy will touch your soil. No war will reach your skies. We will guard you as we guard others." In Times Square, people stared at the hologram, some in awe, others uneasy. Newsrooms exploded with questions. Social media lit up with theories. Is this first contact? Is this an alliance? Or is this a takeover? The Situation Room. The president turned to Commander Voss, a man known for his sharp mind and unshakable calm. "What do you think?" she asked. Voss leaned forward, his eyes locked on the alien's image. "I think when someone offers you eternal protection without explaining why, they're hiding something." The president nodded slowly. "What do you suggest?" "One question," Voss said, his voice firm, "and their answer or lack of it will tell us everything." The alien finished their speech, their voice echoing through the room like a final note. "Decide quickly. We do not make this offer twice." The screens went black. The alien ship still hovered above, unmoving, watching. The president's decision was quick. "Patch me through to them." Now, moments later, the hologram returned. The golden alien staring down at Earth's leaders. "This is President Elaine Carter of the United States. Speaking on behalf of humanity," she began. Her tone was calm, her words clear. She glanced at Voss, then spoke the question they had agreed upon. "From who?" The alien's expression froze. For the first time, they seemed uncertain. A long silence followed. The alien's molten eyes flickered, as if processing 1,000 possible answers. The gold figure tilted its head slightly, then spoke in a quieter voice. "That is not for you to know." And with that, the transmission ended. The alien ship did not move, but something had changed. In the war room, no one spoke for several seconds. Then Voss broke the silence. "They didn't expect us to ask. What does that mean?" the president asked. "It means," Voss said, leaning back in his chair, "that whatever they're protecting us from is something they don't want us to see, and that makes me think it's close." Far above the Earth, the alien ship drifted silently, like a predator pretending to be a guardian. And somewhere in the black ocean of space, something else was moving. something the galaxy feared to name. Asterisk, the alien ship still hung over New York, silent and UNMOVANG. Around the world, the first shock of contact had faded into restless tension. News anchors spoke in urgent voices. People debated in cafes, in offices, in online forums that were bursting with theories. Some believed the aliens were saviors. Others whispered that they were conquerors in disguise. In the United Nations chamber, the air was thick with fear and curiosity. Representatives from every major nation sat together, their faces lit by the giant screen in front of them. The alien envoy's golden face stared down at them from the earlier broadcast. Frozen on replay, Commander Voss stood at the back of the chamber, his hands clasped behind him. His mind replayed the moment the alien hesitated just for a heartbeat. They heard the question, from who? That hesitation had told him everything. These beings weren't used to being questioned. The president, seated at the center, called for silence. We have one chance to speak to them directly. The world will hear our words. We cannot afford to show fear, but we also cannot bow without knowing why. Voss nodded once, then we ask again, and this time we watch their every reaction. The connection was opened. In the skies above New York, the alien ship pulsed with light, sending a beam straight down. In the UN chamber, the air shimmered, and the golden envoy appeared, larger than life, their molten silver eyes fixed on the human. Assembly, Earth, the alien's voice rang out, deep and commanding. We await your answer. Do you accept the Council's protection? The president stood. Her voice was steady, almost casual, but her eyes were sharp. We have one question before we decide. The alien tilted its head, clearly expecting something polite, maybe grateful. Instead, she spoke the words again, slow and deliberate. From who? For a heartbeat, there was no sound. The envoy's gaze shifted slightly, their shoulders stiffening. It was subtle, but everyone in the room noticed. This is not a matter for your people, the alien finally said. Only that the danger is real. The president didn't move. If the danger is real, we have a right to know what it is. The envoy's molten eyes dimmed, as if a shadow passed through them. There are things in the dark between stars, they said, their voice quieter now. Things that hunt entire worlds. They have already found you. A wave of murmurs swept through the chamber. Voss's jaw tightened. Then tell us their name, but the alien only stared at him for a long moment before answering. Names have power, and if you speak it, it may hear you. The image flickered, and the alien vanished, leaving only the silence of the UN chamber and the faint hum of the translation system shutting down. Voss stepped forward. They're hiding more than they're telling. If they wanted to protect us out of kindness, they'd explain, this is fear, and not fear for us, fear of what's out there. In the streets below, people stared up at the alien ship and wondered the same question. If the galaxy is afraid, why aren't we somewhere? Beyond the reach of human telescopes, something stirred in the darkness, moving toward Earth, and now humanity knew it was coming. 3 days passed. The alien ship was still there, parked above New York like a silent mountain in the sky. It neither spoke nor moved. Its presence became part of the city's skyline, but the unease it brought never faded. Far from Earth, on the edge of the solar system, human scout ships had been launched in secret. Their orders were simple. Go beyond Pluto's orbit, scan deep space, and find anything unusual. One of those ships, The Horizon Spear drifted in the black void, its engines running silent. Inside, Captain Rena Ortiz stared at her sensor displays. Something was wrong. Her science officer pointed at the readings. "Captain, there's movement out there. Not near the alien shipway beyond it. It's fast, too fast." "Show me," Ortiz said. The screen lit up with a ghostly blur. No light reflected from it. No heat signature. It was like the thing was swallowing all signals, like a shadow in space itself. Could it be an asteroid? The navigator asked. The science officer shook his head. Asteroids don't change course. Back on Earth, in a secured underground base, Commander Voss stood before a massive holographic map of the solar system. The movement data from the Horizon Spear flashed in red. "It's not a natural object," the chief analyst explained, "and it's matching our observation windows. It's watching us." Voss leaned forward. "Does the alien ship know?" "They have to. Their scanners are better than ours," the analyst said. "But they're not warning us. They're just sitting there." That night, an encrypted transmission was intercepted. It wasn't meant for humans, but the language was partially decoded. The message came from the alien ship above New York, sent into deep space. "Target confirmed. They are not prepared. Delay engagement until further notice." Voss read the translation twice. His gut tightened. They're talking to it. Whatever it is. The next morning, the Horizon Spear made a risky move. Captain Ortiz ordered the ship to close the distance to the shadow object, ignoring standard safety protocols. As they approached, the object unfolded. Metallic plates slid apart, revealing a shifting, liquid-like surface beneath. It had no clear shape, no visible weapons, but the very sight of it made the crew's skin crawl. Every instinct screamed that this thing wasn't built, had grown. Then, without warning, the ship's lights flickered. Every system went dark. For exactly 4 seconds, when the lights returned, the object was gone. Not moved, not destroyed, just gone. Ortiz's voice trembled as she sent her report back to Earth. "Command. Whatever that was, it saw us. It touched our systems without firing a single shot, and I think it let us live." In the war room, Voss stood silent, watching the live feed. The alien ship above New York still hung in the sky, but now he understood why they were here. They weren't guarding Earth, they were guarding themselves from what was coming. The meeting in Geneva was supposed to be private. It was anything but. Every intelligence chief, every military leader, every head of state with enough influence to matter sat around the circular table. In the center, a hologram of the alien vessel rotated slowly, its surface glittering like cold steel. Beside it, a second projection, blurred, incomplete, showed the black, shifting object the Horizon Spear had seen. The president spoke first. "We now know 2 things. Once, something dangerous is moving toward us. 2, the aliens aren't telling us the whole truth." An older general leaned forward. "Ma'am, they are protecting us. Just not for our sake. We're a buffer." "Bait." Commander Voss's voice cut through the low murmurs. "And that's exactly why we can't depend on them." The room went still. Within hours, a global directive went out. Project Aegis was born. Factories that once built passenger planes now forged armored hull plating. Submarine yards began assembling deep space missile cruisers. The moon's mining operations were redirected to supply raw materials for orbital. shipyards. Every scientist who had ever dreamed of building faster engines, denser armor, or smarter AI was brought in. They worked in hidden labs beneath mountains, on floating ocean platforms, and in hollowed-out asteroids where no alien sensor could spy. In Houston, at the new Fleet Command Center, Admiral Pierce walked among rows of massive holographic schematics. "If the galaxy has ships that can hide in the dark," he said, "we'll build ships that can hunt in it." His engineers nodded. One of them tapped the side of a projected warship's leak, angular, its hull lined with experimental energy conduits. "This is the Vigilant, designed for one thing, finding what doesn't want to be found." But humanity wasn't just building weapons. They were building a plan. Every nation's best tacticians met in an underground facility in Iceland. Instead of thinking like soldiers, they began thinking like predators, mapping every possible approach the shadow enemy could take. "Aliens hide from it," Voss told them. "We won't. When it comes, we go to it." The alien ship above New York noticed. Its deep scans caught the heat of new reactors being tested, the movement of human fleets leaving dockyards. The Golden Envoy sent a short transmission to Earth. "You are wasting resources. Stand down. We will protect you." The President's reply was short and sharp. "We don't need your permission." By the end of the month, the first human warship rolled out of orbit over Mars, its hull blackened to absorb light, its engines silent until ignition. It didn't broadcast its location. It didn't ask for escort. It simply vanished into the dark, hunting for the thing the galaxy feared, and somewhere in that darkness, something turned to look back. The warship Vigilant drifted in the black, far beyond Pluto's lonely orbit. Its hull blended with space, absorbing light until it seemed invisible. Inside, every crew member spoke in low voices, as if afraid the darkness itself could hear them. "Commander." Voss stood on the bridge. His eyes were fixed on the tactical display, where a faint red dot pulsed slowly. It wasn't moving toward them. It was waiting. "Range?" Voss asked. 70,000 kilometers, replied the sensor officer. "No engine signature. No coms. Just there." The science officer swallowed hard. "Sir, it's watching us." The dot on the display began to move smoothly, unnaturally, until it was closing the distance faster than any ship in the human fleet could match. "Battle stations," Voss ordered, his voice calm but cold. The bridge lights dimmed to red. Crew strapped into their seats. Every weapon system came online. Through the forward viewport, the thing emerged. It wasn't a ship. Not exactly. Its surface rippled like liquid shadow, but every now and then, jagged spines pushed out, then sank back inside. No windows, no thrusters, no shape a human mind could hold for long without feeling uneasy. "It's wrong," whispered the helmsman. "Like space is folding around it." Without warning, the Vigilance lights flickered. The display screens froze. The sound of the engines dropped to silence. "Systems are..." The engineer's voice broke. "Sir, it's inside our controls. No signals. No physical contact. It's just there." Voss didn't panic. Instead, he leaned closer to the comm panel. "If you can hear me," he said slowly, "you've just made a mistake." The silence reacted. The rippling shape tilted, as if curious. Then a beam of black light, darker than the surrounding void, lanced out, hitting the Vigilance shields. The ship shook. The crew's breath caught. Shields at 60%. Voss stayed. Steady. Fire plasma lances. Full spread. Twin streams of white-hot energy burst from the vigilant sides, cutting into the shadow. For the first time, the thing moved back. Its form twisted violently, spines erupting outward in every direction, in the alien dreadnought above Earth. The Golden Envoy watched the live feed from a hidden channel. Their silver eyes widened. They're fighting it. Another council member stepped forward. No one has ever fought the silence and lived. Back in deep space, the Vigilant pressed the attack. Human weapons weren't elegant, they were brutal. Railgun slugs the size of cars tore through the creature's outer shell, spraying fragments of liquid dark matter into the void. The shadow began to retreat, not defeated, not destroyed, but forced to move. The crew erupted in cautious cheers. Voss didn't smile. It's testing us. Next time, it won't pull back. In the council's hidden chambers, the envoy whispered something that none of their kind had said in centuries. Humans might be the only ones who can kill it. The battle footage from the Vigilant spread across the galaxy within hours. It wasn't leaked. Humanity sent it. Every strike, every railgun slug, every moment the silence flinched under human fire was broadcast on every open channel. Entire worlds that had only whispered about the silence now saw something they thought impossible. Someone had fought it, and lived. In the Galactic Council's great chamber, the Golden Envoy stood before a wall of delegates, each speaking in hushed panic. Some worlds demanded that Earth be placed under strict control before it provoked the silence further. Others argued that humanity should lead the defense of the galaxy. The envoy raised a hand. They have something we do not. Not just weapons. Will on Earth. Commander Voss was in the war room with the President and Admiral Pierce. The holographic map now showed dozens of human ships leaving dock not to run, but to hunt. Our engineers analyzed the fragments we collected, Pierce reported. We've found ways to disrupt its outer shell. With enough concentrated firepower, we can kill one. Voss nodded. Then we stopped waiting for them to come to us. Weeks later, at the edge of a dying star, the largest human fleet in history gathered. Battleships, carriers, stealth cruisers, stealth cruisers, bristling with weapons that had never been tested in real combat. The aliens watched from a distance, their own fleets hanging back like nervous animals. The silence came. Not one, but three. They emerged from the darkness without sound, their shifting bodies blotting out the star's light. The galaxy's greatest threat moved to swallow the humans whole. But this time, humanity didn't flinch. The fleet opened fire in perfect unison. Plasma lances burned holes through the shadows. Railguns cracked space with every shot. EMP bursts lit the void in white arcs, and in the center, the Vigilant drove straight into the largest of the creatures, its hull tearing against the monsters. Surface like a spear driven into flesh. In the alien dreadnought above Earth, the Golden Envoy watched the battle unfold. For the first time, their molten silver eyes softened not in pity, but in something almost like awe. One council officer spoke quietly. We offered them protection. The envoy's voice was low, and they became the protectors. When the battle ended, two of the silence were drifting ruins, dissolving into space. The third had fled into the void. Humanity had done what no other species had dared. Voss's voice echoed over every open channel in the galaxy. If you want safety, don't hide behind walls. Stand with us. We fight for all. Across the stars, worlds that had once ignored. Earth now looked to it. The galaxy had been shaken. The silence had been wounded. And the question that started it all from who was finally answered that the answer was simple, from no one anymore.